Hey, it's Michael, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how to organize your prospects in your Project 200 and give you a couple options on what you can do and kind of tell you how I'm going to go about doing that. So let's get into that discussion and talk about how that's going to work. Now, when I started in the insurance business back in the early 90s, I was given what was called a one card system. And the one card system was just basically a set of index cards with a tickler file. And that went from January, February, March, April through December, and then you have 1 through 31, and then you just put that card in the time you wanted to call them, and you just kind of kept moving people through the system. And that works extremely well. I know the one they gave me was about like this wide, had 2 boxes in it, and then I could kind of put them in there. And it was a really nice setup, but it was kind of bulky. So as good as that system is, to kind of haul it around everywhere because, I was working at home and working in the office. It was kind of a hassle. So I believe in trying to make yourself as portable as possible. So while the one card system would be good, you can kind of put those components together for maybe $50 or something, and certainly is a great way to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by I've put most of my prospects already all into a spreadsheet and get the primary information, name, their address, their maybe home and work phone numbers, so that you have the basic information on how to contact people. And then later you'll kind of add some notes to that. So what I do is I just have built a spreadsheet, and I created categories for the categories that I talked about in my other videos about friends and family and acquaintances, groups, other affiliations, the target occupation, and then my referral sources, so that when I set out to market specifically for a certain category, I know who those people are. Now, over time, what we're going to do is anybody we come across, we're going to put them into the system. And anybody we're referred to, we're going to put them into the system so that we can kind of create this funnel. Now, the other thing that I did to kind of get the tickler file set up of a one card system with January, February through December with the 1 through 31 is just on my iPhone. I found an application that allowed me to kind of group my prospects. I think that was called Connect on the iPhone. And then I created a January through December, and then as I talk to somebody, let's say this is June, if I talk to somebody who's in June, then I maybe the next time I want to talk to them is in July, then I'll remove them from June and put them in July. It's just a matter of pushing a couple of buttons and it's all set. So it's a really nice way to kind of keep people, organized in the system. So I made a category for each of those particular types of prospects, and then and putting them into that group of category, and then I made a category for each month so that people can belong to more than one group, for example. So that's kind of how I organize. Now, the importance of putting these things into spreadsheets as opposed to like using a one card system is that if you want to do any direct mailing to these people, it's a lot harder to do that one by one through a one card system. It's a lot easier if everything's set up electronically, and that's the purpose of the spreadsheet. So I'm kind of keeping them in 2 locations in my spreadsheet, and then as I start calling them, putting them into my contact database, and just kind of go from there. Now, an important concept, and maybe I should make a video for. I think I'll do that. I'll just talk about the prospecting kind of phase in another video. But that's kind of how I organize them. And the idea here is you want to remember you can just keep contacting people over time, because initially everybody's going to tell you no to start with. So you kind of need to have a way to kind of keep in touch with them. So that's how I organize my prospects. You got any questions about how I do that, be sure and let me know, and I'll try and help you answer those in the comments. And be sure and subscribe to the channel for future videos.